Hey everyone, welcome back with another movie review, which I don't think I've done for a while. Alright, so, yes, last night I actually saw this movie in theaters, G.I. Joe Retaliation. Now, I want to make it clear that I have not seen the first G.I. Joe, okay? I do plan on seeing it in the future, but I just haven't seen it as of yet. So, yeah, these are opinions, and based on this movie as alone, I won't be able to talk about plot inconsistencies or anything like that. So, yeah. Anyways, though, the cast. Dwayne Johnson played Roadblock. Bruce Willis played General Joseph Colton. DJ Katrana played Flint. Lee Byung-hun played Storm Shadow. Adrienne Palicki played Lady J. Ray Park played Snake Eyes. Jonathan Pryce played the President of the United States. Ray Stevenson played Firefly. Channing Tatum played Duke. Arnold Vosloo played Zartan. RZA played Blind Master. Elodie Jung played Jinx. Joseph Mazzello played Mouse. Walton Goggins played Warden Nigel James. Robert Kearney played Israeli President, and Luke Bracey played Cobra Commander, and Robert Baker is the voice of Cobra Commander. Okay, now I also want to be clear here that I've never read the comics of G.I. Joe, nor have I ever watched the animated series. So this is my first full exposure to G.I. Joe ever. And I have to tell you, it was a pretty great first experience, alright? For those of you who are familiar with the G.I. Joe comics or animated series, or watched the first movie, or watched this movie, basically, if you're a fan of G.I. Joe already, you probably watched this movie, and so thus you know what it is. Basically, the superheroes are just regular people in an extra military division, I guess, called the G.I. Joes. And, you know, they get called in for extra special jobs, like stuff that the regular military and police can't handle is what the G.I. Joes handle. Alright, so they're like the best of the best in terms of law enforcement in the U.S. Alright, no one can beat them, basically. And I'm not really going to go through the plot because it's... Well, I'm going to go through some of it, because some of it's kind of interesting, basically. This guy, I don't think you actually see his name. I don't think his true name's actually revealed. Impersonates the President of the United States and makes an attempt to stop all nuclear war by stopping all nuclear bombs. And to do this, he actually threatens to... He actually presses the button to launch the nuclear weapons, but they can be incinerated before they land. But meanwhile, he's also teamed up with Cobra Commander and the Cobra team. Alright, for whatever reason, alright, he killed the hardened master of Storm Shadow, and now Storm Shadow is out for revenge, even going so far as to betray Cobra and team up with the G.I. Joes temporarily. Cobra Commander actually isn't in this movie from the beginning. He's actually captured, but Firefly and a Storm Shadow one actually has to rescue him. My favorite character is probably Firefly in it. Well, my favorite villain character. He's my second favorite character overall, but my favorite villain character has to be Firefly. Because I just love his attitude, and you know, I love how cynical he is. I love how evil he is, while just being able to have a smirk on his face while doing it. I love that cocky ass line when he's introduced as well. You know, I've broken out of 8 prisons, but only had to break into 1. Or something like that. Yeah, but he's my second favorite character. My favorite character is actually the leader of the Joes, Roadblock. Just because I love how much of a badass this guy is. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain, but he just has this. He has a cocky attitude, kind of similar to Firefly, but in a different way. You know, he's not so cynical that he enjoys killing like Firefly does. Although he's cynical to his friends and his family sometimes. I especially love the scene with him and his daughters and his good friend who's also in the Joes, and how his daughters apparently live to terrorize his friend. Don't remember his name, but yeah, and you know, Roadblock's just cheering him on. It's good shit. But also the action in this movie is really its biggest selling point, obviously, because G.I. Joe's pure action at its finest. And the action in this movie was so good. Oh man, I really need to try to find the first G.I. Joe movie so that I can watch it, because the action in this movie was so intense. Alright, and even though Firefly is my second favorite character in the series, or in the movie, it was really funny the way he died towards the end. Alright, pulling out his little Firefly, thought he had the trigger, but really Roadblock had the trigger and detonated his own creation on him. That was fucking awesome. So, yeah, that's about it of my of what I have to say good about it. But there are also some complaints. I kind of wish Cobra Commander would have came into the picture quite a bit earlier, because he is the leader of the Cobras after all. You would think that he would have been there from the beginning, pretty much. Also, that what happened to that one guy that was in the tank? That was the other guy that was in the tank alongside Cobra Commander. Did Cobra Commander just leave him behind? I think that's what it is, but we weren't really given a clear picture of that, I don't think. I really hope he's in the sequel, which will happen because Cobra Commander escaped. So, yeah. All in all, though, this was a very good movie. I highly recommend it. If you've never heard of G.I. Joe, well, this is the first. I don't recommend this for first getting into it. I thought this was just a reboot because I knew it as G.I. Joe 3D. I didn't know of it as G.I. Joe Retaliation at first. I thought it was just like a remake of sorts, but no, it's a sequel. So I recommend checking out the first if you want. But this isn't too bad for getting into it. I just personally wouldn't recommend it. I love going to theaters though, so I probably would have saw it in theaters anyways. But anyways, I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10 because I thought it was fantastic. And I can't wait for the third. And I can't wait to get my hands on the first. So, yeah, and this may convince me to go read the comics and go watch the animated series as well. So yeah, anyways though, I hope you enjoyed this review. 9 out of 10 for this movie. See you after guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.